Hi, hello there. Welcome back to Coding 101. On this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use classes in a C++ program. On this video demo, I'm going to show you how to apply classes and default constructor on our rectangle problem. So problem statement, create a C++ program that would ask the user to enter the length and the width of a rectangle, display the area and the perimeter, use functions to handle user input, compute the area and compute the perimeter, use class implementation and default constructor. Okay, so welcome back to Coding 101. On this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use a constructor or a default constructor in a class. Okay, so we will be using the same code that we used on class demo 01. Okay, so let me just close the workspace here. All right, and then let me save this as class demo 02. Okay, and then all right, so as what I'm saying, this is exactly the same code that we used on our previous demonstration implementing the rectangle problem with the use of a class. So this time we are going to implement this as usual with the use of class, and say we are going to have our default constructor. Okay, so what is a default constructor? So let me demonstrate what a default constructor is. So for instance, we are going to compute the area and the perimeter without defining the values of the length and the width. So take note that the length and the width is a must in the computation of area and perimeter. So when we call the rect get area and get perimeter here, it will compute for the area, but we don't have value specified for the length and the width. So let's check that out. So compile here. So there's no error because by default, your compiler actually creates a default constructor every time you define a class. Okay, so but when we run it, let's see what will be the value here. So take a look at this. You've got the area and then the perimeter. So where are those values came from? Okay, definitely we did not define the length and the width, but the area and the perimeter there has given us a value. Okay, so that was coming from the default constructor. So actually it uses a garbage value. Okay, now we need to create a default constructor so that when the programmer failed to define the values for this member data, and you call the function to perform an operations on those, so we have a default values. Okay, so default constructor basically is used to define a value to a variable that has never been defined by the end user or by the programmer. All right, so what I'm going to do here is to create a constructor. Basically, a constructor is also a function without the return data type. So it doesn't use any void, double, or any return data type values there. Okay, so it simply has the same name as the class. So your constructor has the same name as the class. So whatever the name of the class is, that is also the name of the default constructor. So I have here something like rectangle, okay? And then you also have the rectangle there, okay? See? So I have defined here a default constructor. Okay? Now we also need to implement a default constructor. Take note that this is also a function, okay? And default constructor should be defined along with the member function. So it should be public. All right. Now let's have the implementation of our default constructor. So in here, let us implement it here. So as what I'm saying, the default constructor doesn't have any return data type. So we have here the name of the class, and then, okay, rectangle also, okay, and then begin. So what do we have here? So as what I'm saying, this is a value assignment. Okay, so we need to assign a value to our private variable should the user fail to specify the values prior to the computation. Okay, so let me specify here something like, okay, I have here the length, say is initially equals to 1, okay, and then the width is equals to, say, 1. Okay, so these are the default values of length and width should the user did not specify its values. Okay, so let me go back to the main function here. Earlier on, when we run this program, okay, without defining the values of the length and the width, the compiler gave us a garbage value. Okay, so when we compile this, we are expecting that your program or the program would use the value set by the default constructor here, which is 1 and 1. So let's try that. Okay, let's see. So take note on the main function, we did not specify the value of the length and the width. Actually, I just have comment out rec.askUser. So therefore, the program will execute rec.getArea instead. Okay, so it will immediately go to the rec.getArea here. Okay, and then it would return length times width. Okay, so take note that we did not specify length and width. But because of the default constructor, the value of length is 1 and the value of width is 1. So the area should be 1 times 1, that's 1 there. Okay, so after that, get perimeter has been called. So rec.getPerimeter. So again, we did not specify the value of the length and the width. These values here came from the default constructor. So you've got something like 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 2 times 1, which is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, so that is the use or the function of a default constructor. So basically, a default constructor is called once you declared an object. Now to demonstrate that, for instance, let me just put a C out here. Okay, something like, okay, let me just place it here. Something like, okay, C out. Say this is a default constructor. All right. So just to show you that a constructor is automatically being called when you define an object. Okay, let's run this one. Okay. So I'll have this. See, I have here, this is a default constructor. I just defined there the object rect. Okay. Now let me comment this out so that you just see, okay, a default constructor. So we just define an object rect, and this will automatically call a constructor. So say we have here, this is a default constructor. So run it. So see this? This is a default constructor. So that is being automatically called when you declared an object. Let's try to declare another object here. So something like, okay, rect1. All right. So I have defined 2 objects here whose data type is a rectangle. So we are expecting that the default constructor has been called twice because we defined 2 different objects. Okay. So when we compiled it, so you'll have this. Take a look at this. This is a default constructor that is for rect, and this is a default constructor that is for rect1. So it is automatically being called when you defined an object. All right. So let me just remove this. That's why most of the time you see a default constructor without any cout statement there. Okay. Now, so what if, for instance, I have here, okay, let's just have this. Okay. So compile, run. Basically, this would give us the output, right? So something like, okay, enter the length 5, enter the width 2. Okay. Now, take note that we can also, for instance, rect1 dot get area. Okay. So rect1 dot say get perimeter. Okay, so this means first we are going to compute the area and the perimeter based on the user input, which is 5 and 2. The next output get area there is based on the default constructor 1 and 1 for the length and the width respectively. And so with the get perimeter, okay, so see the output here, okay, the first area, it would be the output coming from the user input. Same thing with the first perimeter there. The next area and perimeter is basically coming from the values set by the constructor. Okay? So that's it for this video demonstration. See you on the next video. I'm going to show you this code, this time with constructor overloading.